What's up, family? It's your boy Jaheim, president with Legacy Builders Podcast for season 3, episode 2. We're back for another round of conversations of just enlightening each other as we continue to grow in our destinies and our purpose, as we continue to build our legacy and everything that is attached to us, and just continue just to grow in this thing called life, because we know that life is not easy. Life is very hard. And we're going to be honest with that. I mean, most of us, we're going through so many things in life. And it's always good to have that conversation, to know that, somebody is going through the same thing that you may be going through. And it's always good just to help each other out as we go this thing in life. So today this season, we've been talking about, going to be talking about movement. I think last week we talked about the importance of knowing that this is your quarter, and how movement is very necessary to where we're going in life. How you need to have movement in your life, in every areas of your life, because I believe that we're going places, but you cannot go places if you're not actively moving, actively trying to better yourself, and actively trying to live your purpose. And today, I really want to talk about self-trust. I really want to dive into self-trust and the importance that you have to trust yourself with your destiny. You have to trust yourself with your purpose. You have to trust yourself with the decisions that you're making. You have to trust yourself with the movements that you're making. A little bit of my backstory, a little bit. I would say 2 years ago, I lost the ability to trust myself. 2 years ago, I lost the ability to really trust myself and really know that I'm capable of making good decisions for my life. What are you talking about, Jaheim? Because I was in a very dark and a very kind of dim season, because I was mad at the decisions that I was making. And then once I got out of the situations and situationships and different environments, I didn't trust myself enough to know that I can make it. Like, really, I dive into this week. I was thinking about what to talk about. And I was telling myself how proud I am of where I'm at in life, of the decisions that I've made, of the decisions not to connect with certain people, the decisions to further connect with certain people, and the decisions to really trust where I was going and know that I could live in the process, but not be consumed by the struggles of the process. And I really started to really dive into that thing. And I started to look at how the many conversations I have with myself, when I'm down in the dumps, when I'm like, oh, I don't know about this, when I'm like, I don't know about that. That's when I realized how the self-trust is back. Because there were some seasons where I really did not trust myself, which led to I couldn't trust other people. Because, can I tell you this? You cannot trust other people and then not trust yourself. Because you have to live with your decisions. Other people's decisions, yeah, but you have to live with the decisions that you decide to make. You got to live with who you talk to. You got to live with where you decide to live. You got to live with where you decide to indulge your energy in. And some of us, one of the reasons why we have decided not to go forth in our dreams and go forth in our destiny is because many of us don't trust our decision making. Many of us are mad at things we did in 2019 and 2018, 2020, 2021. Some of us are mad at the decisions we made last week. And so that leads to a place where you are stuck, because now you're questioning everything around you. And when you start questioning everything around you and also questioning yourself, you're not in a place that could lead to something greater. I used to, like, literally the end of last year, while making this podcast, while doing season 2, talking about the blueprint, there were some decisions that I was still mad about, and I couldn't see the other side of where I was going because it didn't line up to what I thought I should be at. And so sometimes we want the decision that we are making to line up to where we want to go. So you decide something, you expect it to happen then and there. But sometimes in life, the beauty of making a decision is sometimes it doesn't lead you to where you want to go, but it leads to where you need to be at in life. And so when I was talking about movements and talking about this quarter, I have a vision of where this quarter is going to lead. I got a vision of where I want it to lead, but I know enough in myself to know that there are going to be some bumps. There are going to be some different routes that I may have to take, but in the end, I'm always going to be where I need to be in this season. You have to really tell yourself, and we have to screen our way of what the world is telling us to know that you are going to be exactly where you need to be by the end of this quarter. You may be where you want to be, and you may be where you not want to be, but you're going to be exactly where you need to be. But because you have finally gained again the ability to self-trust, to trust yourself enough to know that where you are, that you have to trust yourself enough to know that that everything ain't gonna always be, you're always gonna cross your T's and dot your I's, but you know enough in yourself to know that okay, yeah, I'm gonna get there. Yeah, I'm going to progress. I'm taking the small steps now to my major steps later. And self-trust, and it comes with the relationships. Like, you have to realize, even in your relationships, maybe romantic, maybe friendship, you have to know that you got to know, okay, when to pull in and when to pull out. When to pull in the energy, when to pour in the energy, and when to pull out the energy. Because many times in life, you can get yourself wrapped up into situations and to things that are draining you when you have to put it in the proper place in life. That's what I've been doing in this first quarter. That's what I did in the first quarter of 2024. I started putting everything in its proper place. People, things, my job. I started to put it because I looked at myself at the end of 2023, and I didn't even know who I was. And I'm being so honest with you. I didn't know who I was because I was everywhere. I was scattered. My mind was scattered. My body was scattered. My thoughts, my energy was scattered. And so I had to really say, okay, Jaheim, I had to really take down it step by step, and I have to say, okay, Jaheim, what do you really need in this next season of your life? What do you really need? Okay, it's okay. You can list out what you want, but no. What do you really need in this next season of life? What do you really need to do? What do you really need to accomplish? Who do you really need to connect with? Who you really need to disconnect with? Because we really, I'm being honest, we really don't have no time to waste. And that's not to hurry you into your dreams, or not to hurry you into your destination, or put a little ticking top. But you have to know in life, you have to really know where you're going. Like, you have to have a clear map. You may not know how you're going to get there, but you got to have a clear understanding, okay, where am I going in life? How do I want to get there? And many times, and that's why movement is so important. But there cannot be no movement if, for one, there's no clear goal, and if you're not all into it. Because you can't, can I tell you this? You cannot be half in and half out. No, 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 no. You can't be, oh yeah, I'm gonna put a little time. I'm gonna write the vision. I'm gonna do the blueprint. I'm gonna do the business plan. But I got this. I'm half in, because if it fails, then I can say, oh, okay, it doesn't cost me much. No, 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 no. This time and in this season, I need you to put some trust into where you're going. If you want to go back to school, put in the plan. Trust and believe that you're meant to go back to school. If you want to start the business, trust the business plan. Trust the blueprint. Trust what's inside. Many times, and I always say this, many times the reason why you haven't progressed, the reason why you haven't got there in life is not because of other people. I had to realize that. It is not other people. It ain't my mama, it ain't my daddy, it ain't my sisters, it ain't my brothers, it ain't none of that. No, stop. It's how are you going to invest in you? How are you going to invest into your legacy? Because out of legacy, you get dreams. Out of legacy, you get goals and aspiration. Because a part of this legacy is self-awareness and self-trust. If you look at any famous person, if you look at anybody who's successful, anybody who did something in life, anybody who did something they want to do in life, they had trust in their abilities, and they had trust in themselves to know what they were capable of. They had trust in themselves to know, okay, I'm capable of getting to that next step. I'm capable of getting to that next step. And I did a when I went to go visit one of my good friends, the Reverend Brittany M. Bryant, and I went that whole week, and it was my spring break. I did spring break conversation. I was talking about there's 2 steps in life. There's 2 things. You have to heal, and then you have to evolve. Heal and evolve. So you have to heal, and you have to know what language you can take in this season. So I had to realize that I can't keep looking for words of affirmation from this person, words of affirmation from that person. I had to tell that to myself, because I was depleting myself of self-affirmation because I wanted it from other people. I had to crave it from other people, not knowing what was inside of me, not knowing. I had to tell myself, Jaheim, you look good. Jaheim, you ain't ugly. Jaheim, you're not dumb. Jaheim, you can do it. Jaheim, you can make it. Jaheim, there's something inside of you. Jaheim, this season won't last long. And so now I'm constantly telling myself this. Okay, Jaheim, where you at? Ain't go. Hey, listen, this background you see now, you ain't gonna see this all. For my YouTube people, you ain't gonna see this all the time. I'm gonna be in a studio one day. This podcast is gonna have guests. You ain't gonna always hear me. You ain't gonna always, I ain't gonna always be recorded off my phone. God, I thank you. I had to tell myself this. I'm not gonna be big all my life. I'm not going to deprive myself waiting on other people to affirm me. I had to build up self-trust again. And when you build up self-trust again, then comes confidence. And when you have confidence, then you know you can weather every storm. And when you know that you can weather any storm, then you realize how great you truly are. And it all starts with self-trust. Because you have to really trust yourself again. Because that last relationship you let in, or that last friendship you let in, or that last business venture, or that last that does not define you. Can I say that again? That your last failure was not fatal. Is this thing on? Your last failure was not fatal. It really wasn't. Your last failure was not fatal because you're still alive today. And every time you have breath, every time you can breathe, every day you get to wake up, you get another chance to strive for excellence and strive for your goal. And so when you start trusting yourself, that say, okay, it didn't work last time, but what did work? Here we go, back to perspective, because the world and the outside pressure will make you think that nothing's really working for you. No, there's something working for you. You just got to find it. And once you find it, you got to nurture it. And when you nurture it, then the roots will start to grow. Then the trunk will start to grow. Then the leaves will grow. Because you know why? Trees don't get worried when leaves fall off. Because there's roots. And so you have to be so rooted in yourself, and not saying, oh, you da da da, but you have to be so rooted in yourself and so rooted to know that the leaves in my life may fall. Because and the leaves could be relationships, the leaves could be jobs, the leaves could be this. You might leave, the leaves could be money, some relationships, some friendships, some jobs, some cars. They're leaves. They're gonna fall off. I'm just gonna warn you now. They're going to fall off, but you have to have enough roots. Come on, say it with me. I gotta have enough roots in me to know that I'm stable enough in the ground. I'm stable enough in my future, in my present, to know that the leaves of the past, because here it is, because you know why? The roots tell a tree that in the winter, I'm going to be bare. So there are going to be some bare times, sometimes where it's where the wind may blow me, but I know that every spring I get new leaves. And every spring you're going to get new leaves. Every cycle, every time the leaves may fall, don't go there and cry over fallen leaves. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Because you may have loved those leaves in that season. It's going to hurt. Trust me, it hurted me to lose some friendship. It hurted me to lose some relationships. It hurted me to lose some people and some places where I thought were going to be until I closed my eyes and go to glory. It hurted. But I knew enough in me, and I knew enough in this season that there are movements that I need to make, but I got to trust myself again. I have to trust myself and know that I'm worthy enough for my destiny, that I'm worthy enough for my goals, that I'm worthy enough to achieve a lifestyle that I want to. I've suffered. You suffered. You cried. You went through the hard season. You went through some seasons in your life where you didn't know where you went through it. And so now you can reap some stuff. Now you can reap a harvest, that the seeds you planted. But it all starts with self-trust. It does. And it starts with self-trust, knowing enough inside yourself. I was talking to some friends, and my language, like literally crazy. How the way I speak now is not the I used to be so negative but positive. I used to be positive, and then in my own life I was da da da. But now I tell myself, hey, my increase gonna come. Hey, my season gonna come. Hey, this ain't gonna be forever. Hey, some things gonna shift. Hey, I'm gonna be the podcast. The numbers are gonna go up.